You love games, right? I am also. We are all excited about new ones. There is sort of 10 next game that released this year. Without talking, get to number 1. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. A sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, 2019. Picking up 5 years after the events of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the story of Star Wars Jedi Survivor centers on Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. And number 2. Final Fantasy XVI is an upcoming action role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix. The 16th main installment in the Final Fantasy series, it is scheduled for release on June 22, 2023 for the PlayStation 5 as a timed exclusive. The game will feature segmented open environments and an action-based combat system involving both melee and magic-based attacks. Now number 3. Starfield is an upcoming action role-playing game developed by Bethesda Game Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks. Starfield is set in an area that extends outward from the solar system for approximately 50 light-years called the Settled Systems. Around the year 2310, the two largest factions in the game, the United Colonies and Freestar Collective, engaged in a conflict called the Colony War. The game takes place 20 years after the war, with the major factions enjoying an uneasy peace. Starting number 4. Street Fighter VI is an upcoming fighting game developed and published by Capcom. Street Fighter VI features 3 overarching game modes: Fighting Ground, World Tour, and Battle Hub. Fighting Ground contains local and online versus battles as well as training and arcade modes, all featuring similar 2D fighting gameplay to the previous games in the series, in which two fighters use a variety of attacks and special ability. Now number 5. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is an upcoming 2023 action-adventure game developed by Nintendo EPD and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. A sequel to The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, 2017. It could be the last game for Nintendo. It's number 6. Dead Island 2 is an upcoming action role-playing game developed by Dambuster Studios and published by Deep Silver. It is a sequel to the 2011 video game Dead Island and the third major installment in the Dead Island series. Set about 10 years after the events of Dead Island and Dead Island, Riptide, Dead Island 2 differentiates itself from its predecessors by taking place in the city of Los Angeles, which has been quarantined due to the zombie outbreak. Welcome to number 7. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is the next game in PlayStation's critically acclaimed Marvel Spider-Man franchise. Developed for the PlayStation 5 console in collaboration with PlayStation and Marvel Games, this past December, Sony Interactive Entertainment and Insomniac Games confirmed Marvel's Spider-Man 2 would release in fall 2023. Hold on. Number 8. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is an upcoming online action-adventure game developed by Rocksteady Studios and published by Warner Bros. Games. It is the 5th main installment in the Batman arc, taking place 5 years after the events of Batman: Arkham Knight, and the first not to feature Batman as the main protagonist, though the character still appears, posthumously voiced. Coming to end. Number 9. Assassin's Creed Mirage is an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux and published by Ubisoft. It will be the 13th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series. Mirage is an action-adventure stealth game intended to be reminiscent of older Assassin's Creed titles, being more linear and story-focused and reducing the number of role-playing elements present in recent installments of the series. At last. Number 10. Alan Wake 2 is a survival horror game with an intense atmosphere and a twisted, layered, psychological story. It is the long-awaited sequel to Remedy Entertainment's award-winning 2010 psychological thriller, Alan Wake, and 2021's Alan Wake Remaster.